Hello, everyone. Brian France here with Hospice Care Marketing. Let everyone kind of trickle on in, but welcome to our new webinar here today. We're going to be talking about how to set up your website for maximum conversion. So if you could, I'm going to open up the chat. If you could just drop your name, let me know if you can hear me, and just drop your name in the chat and type a 1 or something. Let me know you can hear me and see me. But okay, a couple ones came in, so awesome. So yes, today is all about how to set up your hospice website for maximum conversion. So when we think about all the different things that you can do with your online marketing, there's so many different things. And there's so many different things that you can do, right? And there's so many different things that we need to solve for in your overall approach for your digital marketing. And right here in the green, you'll see we have to drive leads, we have to maximize conversion, and we have to optimize results, right? And then each one of these, right, there's specific things that you can do to drive leads, right? Like organic SEO, right? There's things you can do on and off your website to improve the rankings of your website in the search results, right? In Google, in Bing. There's very specific things that you can do on and off your website to accomplish that, right? So when someone does a search for a hospice provider, a hospice near me, you show up in that search on the first page, ideally in the top 3 spots, right? And so there's very specific things for SEO, and same things with paid search, right? If you're using Google Ads, there's very specific things that you can do to make sure that you're optimized properly for Google Ads, right? Like using a specific landing page, right? Having specific groups of keywords and ads that mention or that match what people are typing into the search result, right? So there's very specific things that you can do to drive leads in organic and paid, and also with your database, right? Maybe some past patients, some facilities that some of the facilities that you want to keep in touch with. There's very specific things that you can do to drive leads to you using database marketing, right? With in the form of emails, and then where we're going to be focusing today is under maximize conversion. We're going to be all talking about the website, right? So very specific things. What can you do to increase the conversion effectiveness of your website? And so there's very specific things, and we're gonna dive deep into a number of those things that you can do. You can modify in your website to enhance the conversion effectiveness of that site. And then there's also what are some other things that might affect the conversion of someone searching, right? And that's our reputation, right? If we have a great reputation, that's going to support our conversions, right? It's going to support our overall marketing initiatives. Now, if you had a bunch of 2 or 3 star reviews, right? People are going to see that, and they're not going to be inclined to reach out, right? So it's going to affect the conversion effectiveness of your overall digital marketing or any other type of marketing that you're doing. So and then automation, right? There's very specific things that we can do with some automation, right? Say someone lands on our form, lands on our website, fills out a form, right? There's very specific things that we can do using automation to reach out to that person right away, send them a text, send them an email, right? Behind the scenes. And so we'll look at some of that stuff too. And then we have to optimize results, right? So we have to know what the total spend is, know how much it costs per lead, and what our ROI is, right? And so we have to track these things very closely to know what's working and what's not working, so we can remove the things that aren't working and spend more on those that are working. So let me go here. And so, yeah, again, this is the accelerated growth model. This is what we have to solve for when we're thinking about online marketing for your hospice agency. So, and here's just another view of that, right? And just talks a little bit about the organic, the paid, the database, your website, your reputation, the automation. And so what we're talking about today is the website, right? How can we convert 2, 3, 4 times, even 10 times as many visitors into a call or some sort of inquiry? And yeah, so all a part of the digital dominance method. We'll be doing a webinar for each one of these, pretty much each one of these, in the coming months. So we kind of dive deep into PPC and SEO and just specifically Google Maps and your reputation, right? So a little bit of housekeeping. We just focus here for the next 30 minutes. Close those other tabs. Let's focus on this, and because if you're serious about doubling or even tripling the amount of leads that you get from your website, the next hour and a half, it's going to be worth your time. So real quick, 1 minute about me. I'm the author of the book, Internet Marketing for Hospice Providers. I run a digital marketing company for hospice, and we have a team that gets a lot of this done. And it's not based, everything I'm sharing today is not based on something I read and on search engine land or something like that. It's based in real world experience working with hospice providers like yourselves, and that's the thing. Like, we've worked with dozens across the country, helping them grow and expand their teams and triple their sales. Right, that's the mission we're on, is to triple the sales of 1,000 hospice providers over the next 5 years. So and this is what we do, right? So our team and some of our clients here, this is what we do day in and day out, right? We're building the websites, we're writing the content, we're managing the paid ads, we're doing the SEO, and growing our companies that we work with. So love to start here with the problem. Let's see, why is that? So I'd love to start here with the problem, right? So the problem is that, there's a big investment in marketing, and, you get traffic, but not enough leads, right? So your website is, just not generating the type of leads that you need to keep your business growing, to make it make sense for the investment, the marketing investment. And so you have low ROI, right? So there's a low return, and you won't be able to keep the phones ringing, the business growing. And so what it looks like on the other side of this, right, is a great site built to convert, right? So if you have consistent visitors that are turning into consistent visitors turning into calls and leads on your website, either form, chat, or a phone call, right? Now we can hit our targets, our business is growing, and momentum and consistent growth, right? And that's success, right? Phones ringing, business growing is essentially what we're after. And so your website is the hub of all your marketing, right? If you think about it, especially if you're doing anything online, right? Like, why do you have a website? Even people referred to you, right? What they're going to do, they're going to go to Google, they're going to type in your company name, they're going to land on your website, right? They're going to end up on your website, no matter what form of marketing you're doing, especially with digital marketing. right? It's all tied back to your website. And so your website's ability to convert at a high level is super important. So we have a couple scenarios here to look at, right? If we have 1,500 visitors a month, right? In scenario number one and scenario number two, same visitors, right? 1,500 visitors. Scenario number one, if we're converting 5%, right? So 5% of the people that visit every month convert into a phone call, a lead form on your website, or some sort of chat, right? Some sort of inquiry from the website. You're looking at 75 calls, 75 leads, right? About 75 leads. They're not all calls, right? Some of them fill out a form, some of them chat in to book services or to inquire about services. And so that's 75 calls, right? From 1,500 visitors, 5% conversion, we're looking at 75 calls. If we're converting 30% of those calls, right, that people will call in and 30% of them book services, 30% of them book services, that's 22 book services in the month, right? Average transaction, say it's around 150,000 from that traffic, right? Now, in scenario number two, if the conversion, and this is typical, right? This is typical with a lot of websites out there in many different industries, 5, maybe 10% if you're lucky, right? Is typical. And so there's very specific things that we can do to increase the conversion effectiveness of the website. And say in scenario number two, that same traffic, 1,500 visitors, 15% conversion, right? We're looking at a lot more leads, right? 225 more leads. And say the same convert, like say 30% of those book services, right? We're looking at 67 book services and a much different, right? We tripled the leads and the revenue because of some very specific things that we can do to enhance the conversion effectiveness of your website. So some examples of this is back in 2021, right? Like when first signed up here, I believe this is one of our clients in Georgia, 82 calls, and then a year or two later, we're looking at a 3 times increase in the calls, right? And these are just the phone calls here, right? I didn't have a graphic for all the leads that came in on the website, right? That's in another section of that CRM, which I'm happy to share with anyone. So why is getting your website built to convert important to you, right? Why? What is it? What would it mean for your website, for your company, if that website now is converting at a much higher level? What would that mean? What would that mean to you? So I want you to think about that, right? This is not just me teaching or, I really want you guys to use this information to grow your business, right? So we'd be happy to help you. And this is what our team does. We work with hospice providers across the nation, and we'd be happy to work with you, right? We can meet, we can look at some of the things that can be done differently in your online marketing, and especially the website. And so if you can visit this link here, which I will, let me see if I can put that in the chat. So, no. Okay. So the link's in the chat now, and if you're watching this after the fact, right, it'll be somewhere on the page or somewhere in the description of this video. So visit that link. What it's going to have you do is it's going to have you make a copy of this workbook in Google Drive, right? So now that's your copy. It's only you have access to that after you make that copy. So that's what this link will do. It'll prompt you to make a copy. Excuse me. And what did I do? Let me go here. And here's the workbook, right? So it'll prompt you to make a copy, and then you can have the workbook, and you can follow along here. And there's going to be some areas where there's some things maybe you could highlight to focus on for your company here. So let me come back here and go into present. Okay, good. So let me know in the. Oh, I see what happened. Sorry, guys. What the? There we go. Everyone. Oh no. Is it making me type it in again and won't copy? Ah, there we go. All right. All right. Let me know if that made it into everyone's chat there. All right. Perfect. Got a couple confirmations. Thank you. All right. And all right. So the 12 critical elements to enhance the conversion of your website. Right. So number one is you have to speak to your target avatar, right? You have to, your website needs to be written in a way that's talking about like what's the benefit of the visitor, right? A lot of time, if not, the website's just going to be full of text and a lot of technical stuff, uh, mumbo jumbo that people don't connect with. So you really have to think about your customer avatar. What are their fears and frustrations, right? Why should they choose you over the competition, right? And if you think about your website in this way, the content on your website in this way, right? It's going to answer some questions for people, maybe subconsciously. Also, we're speaking to their fears and frustrations. We're addressing all these different things, right? Their pains, their fears, their goals, their desires. That's what we're speaking to. So think about writing the content on your website in a way that benefits the visitor, right? Not so much highlighting how many years you've been in business or how many, how great you are here or whatever. Number two is be real, right? We need to use authentic images of your team, your office, your staff, right? On the homepage, on the website, throughout the website, you have to use real authentic imagery. And don't think you have to have like these professional photos, and have them all edited. Our cameras on our phones will do the job, right? We'll get that job done. And if you do this, right, people do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? So if you do this with your website, right, instead of using a bunch of stock photography, if you do this, I promise you, your website will connect and engage with people a lot better. And number three here, using video and multimedia to engage different modalities, right? So your website welcome video would be a great addition to that homepage, right? Maybe it's the heads of each one of your, like the social, the nursing staff, right? The heads each explaining, welcoming that visitor to the website, explaining what they should do next, right? And talking about why should someone choose you versus, the hospice next door, right? Be great also if you had videos for each one of your services, right? Say there's, something your competition doesn't offer. Having a video along with a page on that website that talks about that can go a long way. Number 4 here is leverage social proof, right? So showcase your online reviews prominently on the homepage. There's tools out there like Bird Eye or Review Buzz. We set our clients up on something that will connect directly to Google. It'll stream in, so it can be dynamic. When a new review comes in, the website gets updated with that new review immediately. And these reviews now are on every page of the website, no matter where someone lands. We never know what page they're going to land on, and so showcasing your online reviews prominently on every single page is a best practice there. Number 5, the basics, right? The fundamentals, right? The phone number needs to be in the top right corner, right? Sometimes I visit websites and the phone number is hard to find. Might be too small, or it's down. I have to scroll all the way down to the bottom to find it. If you're counting on someone to, visit the contact page to find if like they land on the homepage, they can't find the phone number, they have to now go to the contact page or scroll all the way down to the bottom and find it. Believe it or not, you're asking that visitor to do a lot, right? You're requiring them to do too much, right? So the phone number needs to be in the upper right-hand corner, and just following marketing principles, that's where it should always be. And no matter what, on every single page, ensure there is a web form for someone, call to action in a web form that customers can fill out, right? You want to make sure that that we're giving them an opportunity on every single page inside the block. You kind of have to tell them what to do, right? If you want them like, hey, give us a call or fill out this form, tell them to do that, right? After each block of text or whatever, you have a call to action there and tell them what to do next. Sure. Okay. And then we also want to borrow the credibility from other sites like Yelp or Google. So those stars are really good. If you're a Better Business Bureau member, these are great trust and authority symbols to enhance the trust and credibility that your company provides. Number 6 here, you have to have clear calls to action on each page that speak to your customer avatar and tell them exactly what to do next. Right? I think I already kind of mentioned this one, but again, clear calls to action on every page. In those blocks of text, make sure to mention what you want them to do, right? Give us a call, so schedule a care consult, or fill out this form to have someone reach out. If you think about it, so if a customer doesn't want to call, and a lot of time in today's market, they don't want to. They don't want to call. They want to shoot a text or fire off a form. But if they know that is, if they try to call, no one answers, or they fill out a form and no one responds, right? That is still on their mind, right? And they have not got their questions answered yet, right? They have not got their problem solved. So if we can give them that option to, book something online, in the form of a form or some sort of calendar or something, that is going to take that off their plate. They know that this is maybe soft booked, but it doesn't need to be set in stone, but they know that they can take that off their plate and move on, right? If not, they're going to continue their search, go to the competition that will allow them to do so. Number 8 here, make sure your website is mobile optimized with an easy click to call function, right? So your the mobile version of your site, right, is visited more often than your desktop version, right? The truth here is that most people are visiting your site from a mobile phone. I've seen some, up to 70% of the visitors come from a mobile device. So they're pulling out their phones, they're landing on your website. And if are you making it easy for them to contact you, right? Is there a button at the top there to click to call? If they see the phone number, they can't click it and have it call, right? There's a very specific thing that you have to do in the phone number to make sure it clicks to call. If that does not happen, right, they're going to go to the next one. They're going to go back to their search and choose the next one on the list there. So make sure it's the website is thought of on a mobile phone. It looks nice. It's optimized for a mobile phone, and it has an easy one-click to call function. The next thing here, number 9, is to leverage live chat, right? Like I was sharing earlier, we have phone call, web form being filled out, and the next thing would be a live chat, right? Not everyone's gonna want to chat, but some people will. And if we give them that option, this will likely increase the amount of conversions that happen from your website. Right? Not every single one that goes in there is gonna be eligible for services. Some people might be asking, about volunteering or something like that. I've seen that happen. But we can leverage the live chat, have it respond, and collect some details for your team to follow up with when, right after someone chats, they chat in, right? Number 10 here, start giving visitors the option to book online, right? So they fill out that form. Now we can show them like, hey, here's a calendar. Say there's someone that does these consults frequently. You can put their calendar in there, and they can book a time on that calendar and know that problem now is solved. They can go on about their day. So having that option for people will likely increase conversions, right? These are things, many websites out there are doing this. People are expecting it. If they don't, your competition might be doing this, and you'll lose some of those visitors to your competition. And then number 10 here, site speed matters, right? So how fast your website loads to a new visitor on a mobile phone and the desktop version of your website is very important, right? This is gonna, Google's looking at these things as well. So this will also tie into some search, but to some search engine optimization. But it will also increase if someone has to load they click the link and it takes 3, 4, 5 seconds to load. That becomes frustrating, right, for people. So definitely pay attention to your site speed. There's things you can do to check, and it'll list out what is causing your site to be so slow. Tools like GTmetrix, there's free tools out there, right? Google has one, it's called PageSpeed Insights. So if you just Google that, also GTmetrix, that is a free tool there. Also, you plug in your website and it'll list out all the things that are taking, maybe excessively too long to load on your website. If you have a lot of imagery and things that haven't been optimized to load quickly on a mobile phone. So there's a lot of WordPress websites have a difficulty loading a lot of they make it easy to update things on the back end, but very, very tough and to get them to load fast. And then we want number 12 here, engage via SMS and marketing automation, right? So if we engage via the way people like to communicate, like if you think about today's marketplace, a lot of people would prefer to engage via text than to make a phone call, right? And then some automation. If we have someone on our website filling out a form, if we don't engage with that person, we're going to talk a little bit about this in a little bit. But if we don't engage with that person, almost instantly, that lead's going to go cold. I think within like 5 minutes, right? They're going to forget they've moved on. So pause here and see what is the one element that will have the biggest impact for your hospice, right? In terms of your overall marketing and internet marketing efforts. So yeah, think about this for a second. What is the one thing, if we go back and look at the 12 things that can be done to enhance the conversion effectiveness of your website, what is that one thing that you think could be missing? Maybe there's a few things here that could that you want to consider. But let's think about that one thing that will have the biggest impact. And then we'll continue to move on here. So how do we optimize for conversion? Right. And so is your website set up to convert at a high level? Right. I think I showed some of those. So yeah, these are some live examples, right? You can see phone numbers always in the top right. Just had the kind of the above the fold here. What's missing is the chat. So if we can pull up a site here. So you can see on what we're looking at above the fold before you scroll is what's known as above the fold. And you can see there that we always have the phone number in the top right corner, right? It's also at the bottom, but we have to think about what, like someone's coming here, they want to call. Let's give them exactly what they need right away. And then we have calls to action here that pop open a simple form, right? That can be filled out, and at the end of it, we can ask them to schedule. And then we have a live chat, right? So there's 3 different things here above the fold that someone can do to, and we're trying to use that authentic imagery, right? These are not these are real images. These are not on some stock photos. We're trying to we're borrowing credibility. We're trying to add credibility symbols, and also the reviews there pop up. So yeah, let me know if that was helpful to see, and we'll continue to move on. And all right, so and I think this is pretty important here. You can see, like, from the organic search, there was about 3,000 visitors, right? I think this was over a 2 or 3 month period. And how many calls came in? Or 457 from first time callers, 457, right? So just from the phone calls, I think that's over what was it? I can't remember, 7% or something. I could be wrong. And then all the lead forms that come in from the website, right? So we're pushing close to 15% is what we're after. And before it was under 5%. So how can we get your website to convert? There's very specific things. I have this little cheat sheet here that you can take a screenshot of. It's in the workbook. Again, if you go to hospicecaremarketing.com/website-workbook, you'll find it there. But again, there's very specific things. Phone number, calls to action there, right? The call to action and the button. Some client trust icons, client testimonials, a web form to be filled out. It's kind of how you want to think about the designing, right? The overall look of your website. Because if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. And so we're going to look at the different things, right? Like, if you haven't done this work, this is a really powerful way to start to shift the content on your website to start to think about your ideal customer avatar instead of always about you, right? So the demographics, right? Like, who are the people visiting this website? And you look at their age, their gender, their marital status, the location, the income, the occupation, education. So all these things, right? And then what are their pains and frustrations when they're dealing with, a family member that, is getting close to the end? What are their pains and frustrations, right? They might be overwhelmed by the medical system. They're struggling with caregiver burnout, right? Feeling guilty about considering hospice, maybe, a lack of knowledge, right, of what hospice really is. So very specific things, pains and frustrations that your website visitor is going through, and their fears and implications, right? Uh, they have a fear. They may have a fear that choosing hospice, too soon or something might, means the loved one will die like immediately or something like that. Some of these things they could be dealing with, right? They're worried about judgment from family or friends. Um, they have a fear of not getting the quality care, right? Like it's written here, pain management issues like neglect, uh, and then some of their goals, right? I think they all want their loved one to pass with dignity, comfort, and peace. They want communication. They want a team that listens, provides the support, and educates them. Um, Seamless transition. They feel confident and know that they've done the right thing. Um, and I think they want to spend more quality time also with their loved ones. So if there's other things in here, if you haven't done this work, this is a really good exercise to look at those four things, right? The demographics, the pains and frustrations, fears and implications, and goals and desires, right? And then we can start to think about your website and talking in terms of these four areas. That will shift a lot on your website, right? If there's a lot of, if you're not doing that, then your website's just got a lot of text, and uh, it's not speaking to why someone should choose you. Um, so hopefully that was helpful. But overall, your messaging should educate, empathize, provide support, reassure, and simplify, right? And so here's some messaging that will work, right? A compassionate, reassuring approach. You have your loved one deserves comfort and dignity. We are here to help, right? Speak with a hospice expert today. Support is just a call away. Maybe the caregiver pain point approach. Feeling overwhelmed by caregiving, you're not alone. We provide support so you can focus on quality time, not just care, right? So this is speaking to one of their uh, fears and implications, right? And yeah, if you want to come back here if you guys see someone wants to take a screenshot. So awesome. Cool. So got that. And so, yeah, messaging that works, right? Think about writing the content in a way that speaks to your customer's avatar, right? Their pains and frustrations, their goals and desires, their fears and implications, and their dreams and goals, right? So, messaging that works. Like we said, like we want to be real and authentic, right? So we have a photo of the team. This is their chaplain team. And we're leveraging social proof, right? And then you can see here, I think I kind of already went through some of this, but phone number on the top right, trust symbols, you got clear calls to action, authentic team photo, goes a long way. And like I said, many people have mobile phones. over 50% are searching, probably landing on your website from a mobile device. And so this is old. I think it's closer to 70 in some cases, but in some markets, maybe not hospice so much, but I see a lot. I see a lot of our clients around 50% and more. So come from the visitors come from a mobile device. So they're pulling your phone up, your website up on their mobile phones, right? And uh, the click to call, right? The chat, like these things are very important, right? Is there an easy click to call function on your website? And yeah, Google reports that 40% of mobile consumers turn to a competitor site after a bad mobile web experience. A lot of websites have a tough time loading on a mobile phone, right? So it takes a long time. It's not they have to zoom in, or maybe they have the phone number. They have to now copy and paste it, and to make the call. It's not a click to call. So make sure those things are done for your website, because more than half your traffic is likely coming from a mobile phone. So. And then here also consider live chat, right? Only 5 to 10% of the visitors of your site are currently taking action, right? Call or web form. 90% of your visitors leave without calling, right? So we know they're in the market for your services, right? They are looking for a hospice, and they just landed on your website. So why not leverage a channel that someone, like if they had a quick question, they couldn't find it really quickly on your website, that chat can do wonders, right? And it can increase by an average of 30%, 35% there. So if we can increase the conversions by 35% by just including live chat on your website, this not everyone's going to call, not everyone's going to fill out a form. That people are aware, like many of these companies that have web forms, they don't respond to them, right? Or they take too long to respond to them. And so people are tired of that, right? They know it doesn't work. Like, are they even receiving this? They don't know. So so yeah, the key ideas there, right? Number one was speak to your target avatar, be real, use authentic imagery, video, use videos, right? On the website, the homepage of the website, having a website welcome video, maybe talking about a specific service on that specific service page, and a video, maybe having some testimonial videos, video explaining why someone should choose you. We want to leverage social proof, the fundamentals, right? The basics, having the phone number in the top right, web form on every page, credibility, authority, trust symbols, reviews, things like that. Sure, you have clear calls to action. Make sure your website is mobile optimized with them one click, leveraging live chat, offering to schedule online, thinking about your site speed, how quickly does it load to a new visitor, and engage via SMS and text marketing automation, SMS and text. So is your website optimized for conversion? So yeah, take a second, think of a couple of things, pick 3, write this down, right? Which of the following should you implement in your business today that will have a positive impact on the conversion rates of your website? Right? I listed 12 specific things. If you pick 3 of those things and choose to get them done in the next 30 days, I promise you it will impact the conversions on your website. So go to the workbook, write these things down, and make a plan to do so. So real quick, one thing, a big marketing issue facing hospice providers is unconverted leads, right? So the problem, like 50 to 60% of inbound leave unconverted, 90% of web forms fail to convert. And the problem is that leads are not followed up. If leads are not followed up within 15 minutes, I think it's actually within 5 minutes. If you're not following up this person within 5 minutes, that lead goes cold, right? And the average consumer must be followed up with 5 to 7 times. right? So, and also today's consumer prefers to interact via text message over a phone call or an email, right? So the solution is to leverage automation, right? As soon as someone fills out a form, we're going to send them an email and a text letting them know we got this, and someone will be reaching out to them, and if they need assistance immediately, they can call or text back right now. And we want to automate that follow-up, right? Not everyone's going to be right there as soon as the lead comes in, ready to reach out. So we automate that and make sure that that prospect, that visitor, is now touched at least 5 times and able to engage via text message, right? And again, it's simple math here. If we have 100 leads, conversion rate's 30%, no follow-up, services booked 30 leads, right? And then if we automated the follow-up and we were able to book 70, right? If the conversion rate now is 70% of instead of 30, right? We're looking at a much different service, right? 70 services, much different ROI. So it is simple math. It makes every lead you generate much more valuable, right? It makes all your marketing much more effective. All your efforts that you've done into your website and your reputation, all these things, having your website convert at a high level makes every lead you generate much more valuable. And so let's apply this to your business. And again, the action items that I want you to take: write 3 elements from your that you can change on your website to enhance the conversion effectiveness. And if you'd like help doing this, our team is here to help. Like I said, we're on a mission to triple the sales of 1,000 hospices. And what we'll do, right? We will meet. There's no pressure or anything like that. You're going to fill out a form on our website or give us a call, and we're going to look at your website. We're going to run a keyword ranking report for all the keywords in your market, see where you're ranking. We're going to look at all the different online listings that your business is listed in. We're going to look at your reviews, your social presence, and analyze the conversion effectiveness of your website, and promise you you're going to leave with value, even if you choose to work with us or not. We are happy to do this. We just want to provide some value out there for these hospice, your hospice. And all you have to do, go to the website, hospicecaremarketing.com. You can click the button, or you can just visit hospicecaremarketing.com/schedule. I'm going to pull up our schedule tool there. It'll ask some questions. And then, or you can give us a call, 877-959-5849. But that's really it for today. I'll pause there and see if there's any questions. If no questions, we can go ahead and edit or end this. And then yeah. So again, take us up on the offer. We'll look at all these things, your keywords, where you're ranking, look at your website, the conversion effectiveness of it. We'll look at it from an approach for your overall digital marketing efforts. And I promise you, you will leave with value. And this is a totally free review, and we're not going to pressure you at the end. It's really simple, but hope you guys had value today. And if you have any questions, please don't forget to hit us up, and we'll talk again soon. All right. Thanks, everyone.